There are a lot of sources of magical power. Some people have innate magical power, some people don't. So, there are a lot of people that have magical innate power on this planet and other places as well, for there are other planets and other dimensions where there is life. But magical power exists within people, it's a real thing. Some percentage of the population has no magical ability at all. They are big zero magical ability. They are not destined in this lifetime of theirs to be a magical practitioner. Some people have light magical ability, and this is the massive common amount of people. Some people have medium ability, and there's a good amount of these as well. Some people have expert level, high levels of magical ability, and then expertise is also developed on knowledge and how they learn uh, that specialization, if you want to see it that way as well, because there are generalists and specialists as well. So there are different levels of ability between different people. Some people have ability that comes from themselves, and some people have ability that comes from other sources. So some people make pacts for magic with evil forces, or they go to good deities, to God, to different good sources, to saints, to angels, right? And then you have also the ones who use their own magical ability, right? Many people try that, but the only ones who can do that at the higher levels to have a high level of magic is the enlightened ones, right? The enlightened ones have the ability to use their own magic. They are enlightened, so they are directly connected to that light magic of God, right? To the enlightened ones who are Shri, right? Who are closer to God than others, is what is the real definition of Shri. Those who are close to God, those who work closely with God, who commune closely with God, who talk with God, right? Those who are close to God and that God chooses to make Shri are the Shri. And there is the family of God, the Shri family as well. Shri free. Free Shri. So magic comes from different sources. And if you want to become powerful in magic, right, you want to go to a powerful source to empower your magic. Or you want to be powerful in yourself. And this is the true secret of magic. That true power in magic comes from spiritual development of the magical practitioner, not through any kind of pacts that may work sometimes, not sometimes. Even if they give you ability on a permanent basis, there's always a price to pay for these pacts. Except if you go to good forces, right? That these are white magic, white types of magic, right? White magic. Good for sources like deities, or some people work like shamans with the spirits, whether they try to coerce or work side by side with spirits, take them in, had develop a relationship or coerce. There are the spirit magic, the spirits of the land, right? The spirits of different paths on their shields. And there are the gods who empower in magic, as well as some deities will give magical powers to anyone who comes to them. In response, they expect you to do certain things, right? As part of the story, you become someone who represents and carries that deity with you where you go, right? So that's important to remember. There are people that go to evil forces like the devil or things like that. That's a bad idea. You do not want to do that. You do not want to go to evil sources, evil ideas, evil stories to go get power. You want to be a good person, a being of God that stands with the forces of heaven, right? The angels, the saints, God himself, and all the deities, and all the Buddhas, right? And all the Shris. You want all standing together, all these forces, right? And even the demons of the end days, the scary demons of the end days, they're even in the armies of God, right? In case he ever needs them for the end day. But you don't want to be with the asuras. The asuras are the evil forces, right? They are the forces that have been cut off from the light of God, right? Those who are excommunicated, if you want to see it, away from the real light of God, right? The truth of God, the knowledge of God, the light of God, the life that God gives, and that they can only subsist now and grow now by taking the light from other devas, right? So they exist in the realms in between heaven and life, and have developed their realms there, right? And grow there and live there. The Vaitarani River and close to there, in those realms. And they hide now because I wage war upon the Asuras as they popped up their heads when they should have laid really low. So now me and my forces of God, all the forces of God, we wage war upon the Asuras. They made a big mistake, and they'll never forget to never, ever, ever again challenge God. So this is knowledge about where magic comes from, the forces you want to stand with in life. You want to stand with the forces of God, with the angels, with the saints, with the Buddhas, right? With the Hindu deities, right? With God himself, right? Whatever that means to you, and all the faiths and all the religions that are true, okay, they're all true, is what I'm trying to say here. They all have the truth within them, and there are different perspectives of seeing the jewel of God, all the different faiths and cultures. And as there are different continents, there are different perspectives to see and understand God shared amongst the different continents, to help them come together in that understanding, not to divide them in a fake division between ideas, which is actually just more ideas to grow the intelligence of the mind. So all faiths are true, all faiths are real, and magic does exist. And some people have magical powers, and they can do things. And there's a lot of the people in the population of the world who have these powers, a lot, more than you think, a lot more than you think. So there's also a lot of people that carry a gun or have a gun at home. That doesn't mean that they use it every day, right? Doesn't mean they're a bad person because they have a gun. And a gun is a much more effective thing to hurt somebody than magic, let me tell you. So magic is not something to be feared, but it is a reason to treat people with respect, right? Because when you know that things like the evil eye and all these things exist, well, it's even a greater encouragement to be a good person in society and to be respectful to everyone you encounter, so that you don't even give them a reason to give you the evil eye. And not to show off wealth to them if they don't have wealth, and, to be level, to be a good person, right? To fit into the context of the situation, to adapt to the situation, right? These are important things. And to be a compassionate person, a caring person, an honorable person, right? To have your values, your ethics, and to stand by them as a good person that believes in freedom and rights. This is a good path. This is a good way to be. And accepting of others' different ways. Not wanting to impose yourself on others, not wanting to convert others, rather saying to others, I respect you and love you the way you are, and I'm willing to be your friend and let you grow the way you want to grow, respectfully, and I would love to do business with you at the same time, right? And to trade ideas and thoughts and grow together. As your great minds grow and our great minds grow, let us grow together on a common planet that we share. For we are all people who have blood within us. We are all one humanity. And this is truth, no matter what we look like. So you might decide to pursue the path of finding if you can use magic. That doesn't mean you have to use it for bad things. Maybe you learn how to do it for good things, and you become like a doctor using magic. This exists in some places of the world. Some cultures are more open to this. Some cultures don't believe in it as much. But it's true. There are many bad things, diseases, disorders that come as bugs, as viruses that attack the person. And magical means can take care of these things. So I have these traditions, for example, in my tradition, and how to deal with these things. So there are different types of magical practitioners. There are enchanters, there are alchemists, right? There are necromancers, there are witches, there are fairy people, fairy blood. There are sorcerers of different types, organic sorcery. There's also numerical sorcery, different types of sorcery. There's magical systems of all types of different types of magical systems. All types, so many types. And people specialize in different types. There are those that are of the first level, related to the Dharma systems, who are conversely also the most cursed. There are also levels at the Chinese systems, right? The systems of Chino and China. There are systems of the Voodoo. There are systems of the Catholic Church, also of Christianity. There are many different types of magic. Many different types. There's also what we call Vulcan magic, or also known as Viking magic. Viking magic. There's many types of magic, okay? Many types. And there's Aztec magic and Mayan magic. Let us not forget these. And Thai magic is extremely powerful. Lots of different types of magic and magical systems everywhere in the world. And often governments, royal courts, things like that, employed magical practitioners, and still do in some of the areas of the world where some magical practitioners of certain lineages are still paid under. No one knows about these things, but they're still paid somehow by the royal court, right? Because they are under contract to the court. If the court ever needs to use the magical systems and the magical lineages and abilities of this lineage of magical casters, they're on contract. So these practitioners on contract, they agree not to use their powers except for the court, pretty much. Right? And there are all types of arrangements like these that exist everywhere in the world, in different worlds, where the most powerful magical practitioners have arrangements, if you want to say it that way, with certain people, right? Because with a certain knowledge of magic, you can make things happen differently in this world. You can change a lot of things. And some people are very, very, very powerful. So magic is a real thing of ability and power and consequence. And you can get power in many different ways, through pacts. If you're foolish enough to go to evil forces for pacts, know that they hate you and they'll want to destroy you. So that's going to be a short-term proposition for you and negative in the end. You know, if you're thinking about going to the devil forces and all these stories, you're gonna regret it. It's not a good idea. You're going to negative things to try to get power to do what? Negative things. What's the common recurring theme here? Negative. You know, what do you want? A negative life? No, you want a positive life. So put all that aside. That's for people who want to go into that negative stuff, you know? If you're a being of God, you're thinking I'm on the side of the angels. I'm on the side of the saints. I'm on the side of the church, right? Whatever that means in any culture and tradition you're in. You know, if you're Buddhist, you know, I'm on the side of the Buddha. If you're Hindu, I'm on the side of Shiva, of Vishnu, of Brahma, right? I'm on the side of the Hindu gods, of the Dharma. This is the kind of mentality you want to have. You know, you're a person. You're in Central America, around Mexico, something like that. Maybe you're looking at your heritage, and you're like, I'm on the side of the Aztec gods. I'm on the side of Papa Mahamaya, the Mayan god. You know, I'm on the side of, and that's good. And you know what the current recurring theme is that you have a side, right? And that side is a facet of the reality of God. And you are a protector of your side. But remember that your side is part of the same gem and jewel as the other sides. All is one. We are all one in the jewel and gem of the marvel of God. So we don't have one side that's better than another. It's rather each side should allow and help the other side to shine brightly as well, so that we all shine together in glory, rather than just thinking about our silo, our side, or even trying to crack the other side, which could crack the jewel of the side that we're connected to as well. Right? Which means that there are unintended consequences to things. But when your mind and your heart is in a good place, but you're strong still, you're not an idiot. You know that there's evil and bad things out there, but you're like, no, we're going to build ourselves a real paradise here on earth. We're going to build ourselves a real place with universal income for all. Robots and AI is going to do all the jobs. We're going to tax them, and all our people are going to live well. And if they want to work, they can be airline pilots, they can be doctors, they can be people like that. Or they can do a lot of the other stuff too that we need to be done. But we're going to have a society where, we're going to be proud of our society, and we're not going to say one day we are still under the Ashwara corruption of monetary and value systems, which put us in an illusion of scarcity of value and money in our society, rather than an idea of wealth, right? When we lost control of money systems and how they interacted with our mind and our society and our life, right? And how they corrupted money systems, which are energy distribution systems, any energy sharing systems, and the Asuric code penetrated the Deva systems, your IT systems, all your IT, your minds, and all your defenses collectively. And your whole societies fell to corruption of your technologies of value distribution, right? Which corrupted all your other technologies, because you associated all your other technologies to value and value distribution and how to buy them, connecting everything. So you see that all your technologies, from a technology perspective, were all connected without barriers in between your technologies, by connecting them all to a value proposition in your society. By corrupting the money technology, you corrupted all your subsequent technologies connected to value distribution, which led to a full failure of the Deva systems. And basically the Asuras took control over the Devas and started hurting them and farming them, so that they could basically turn you into bad people, so that when you would die and go to the Vaitarani River, you would choose not to take the path of God, because you would fear, because of all the bad things you would do, and you would go instead to the realm of the Asuras, where they would basically put their hooks in you, drain you, and turn you into rung bottom demons. Is that the fate you want for yourself? Or do you want to be proud beings of God? Proud devas, proud humans, and for all the beings of other planets, whatever your names or your species and who you are, proud people who realize that we're all connected and we're all one, we're all part of a computer program and system, and we're all individual experiences that are interacting, all nodes of reality and connection that are interacting. No one's better than another person. We're all in the same playing field, and we're all, in a way, prisoners of this front-end experience that shows us not all the truth, but in a way, it gives us a nice place to live too. Because some of the back-end systems, they're pretty rough. Not a cool place to live, not a fun place to live, traumatizing. You'll get those experiences if you ever become enlightened. But it's good to have a front end to live, a comfortable life that can be comfortable, a life that can be happy and allows you to show that you can be a being of God and truth and peace and happiness and joy, of honor and freedom, of respect, of compassion. A being that when they die deserves to go to paradise, to heaven. So if you want to explore magic in your life, explore magic, but explore it well, for the right reasons. And don't make foolish mistakes to try to become more powerful. Instead, cultivate your inner strength, your inner spiritual strength, your ability to receive, to hold, to project Shakti. And this will be what will project you to be one day a path of gaining real power in magic, the ability to control Shakti, which is fundamentally the ability to control magic. Shiva.